Hey everyone, I'm Michael Short. Come on, let's go outdoors. Well, welcome to Peanut Lake. This is one of the newest lakes to be aerated by the Alberta Conservation Association, while the lake is stocked by Alberta Environment and Parks. I caught up with Brad Hurkett to get some more information about this neat little trout lake. I guess first off, Brad, thanks very much for taking some time and chatting with us today.
Yes, you're welcome.
Let's talk a little bit about when did Peanut Lake first come to the attention of the Alberta Conservation Association in terms of an aeration project?
So in 2018, Alberta Environment and Parks approached ACA and asked if we would be interested in aerating the lake. There has been events within the last 7 years where there have been fish kills in the lake that during the winter months. So starting in 2019, with the assistance of Alberta Environment and Parks, we went out and we monitored the dissolved oxygen during the winter months. And over the last 2 years, our results indicate that the dissolved oxygen concentrations drop below trout threshold survival limits, which is about 3 milligrams per liter.
So what would be the conditions that would present that? What causes dissolved oxygen levels to fall?
Well, in the wintertime, in highly productive eutrophic lakes, what happens is when the ice forms and the snow settles on the surface, it blocks the sunlight penetration, and the aquatic vegetation seizes the photosynthesis and basically dies and decomposes. And what the decomposing bacteria basically consumes all the oxygen, and there's just a big bloom, and then that's when dissolved oxygen levels drop.
So as a scientist, Brad, what kind of steps do you and the Alberta Conservation Association go through in order to select a lake that is a potential candidate for aeration? Because obviously that's not a cheap process.
That's right. So we do have a selection process, a criteria that we run through before we select a lake to develop an aeration system in it. There are a few key elements that we look at. We look at the popularity of the fishery, how big those fish get. We monitor the dissolved oxygen during the time where they have problems surviving. And we also look at a bunch of infrastructure development as well. Just do a cost benefit analysis just to see if it is worthwhile.
When you set up an aeration system like up at Peanut Lake, are the results fairly quick? Are you going to know, like this season, whether or not the system works and fish will be able to survive and that type of thing, or does it take some time?
So the aerators, what they will do, they will oxygenate the water body throughout the winter. We will know for sure if they do overwinter, basically if they survive to when the ice is out.
In terms of how many aerators you decide are required for a given lake, Brad, I would imagine that it goes by the size of the lake.
You are correct. So the bigger the lake, the more aerators we put in. We generally go one aerator pump per 10 to 15 acres.
Now, you mentioned that Alberta Environment and Parks responsible for putting fish into this lake and are certainly one of your key partners. The other one, as I understand, is the County of Barrhead. What did they bring to the table in moving this project forward?
So the County of Barrhead, they're a corporate partner in conservation. So they have provided some financial support, and as well, they'll be operating the aerators out on site. So they will be doing the installs, they'll be doing the removals. They will also be installing the safety fencing and signage when the aerators are running.
Obviously, the fence is going to be erected, but if anglers are wanting to get out and try their luck at some ice fishing, what are some things that they should be bearing in mind when they get out onto Peanut Lake, or any lake that's being aerated for that matter?
So the best thing would be to, first off, when you get on the ice, assess the ice thickness. If you are walking on the ice, the minimum thickness you need is 4 inches. And if you use a vehicle to access the ice, you need at least 12 inches, and so on and so forth. So the aerators, they do create an opening in the ice, and we do fence around that. But the ice is variable where the area is affected by the aerators. So just pay attention to openings, thin ice, all that kind of stuff, and just keep a safe distance away from the open water, even though you are out on the outside of the fence.
Well, once again, my thanks to Brad Hurkett, biologist with the Alberta Conservation Association, and giving us some background about this neat little lake. Now, remember folks, these aerators are going all winter long, so if you do come out here to enjoy some ice fishing, stay away from the open water. There will be a fence erected a little bit later on once the ice gets deep enough. But if you can't make it out this winter, let's hope you can come out in the spring or the summer months, and this lake once again producing fish up into that, well, maybe 5-pound range. Till next time, I'm Michael Short. Let's go outdoors.